What's up, man? Doing good, doing good.
Trying to make vibe with all this YouTube politics, to be honest.
We are now. We're back.
The time is now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to NUFC Talk. We are live here on the late night show. Welcome, everyone. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We are live. We got a new guest, 40A in the building, baby.
How you doing, man? How's it going?
How's it going, man? How's it going? We got the mighty win, of course. England just won 4-0, was it? My
5-0.
5-0.
5-0 and counting.
5-0 and counting. England. It's on the way. It's coming home, baby. Is it coming home? Maybe. Maybe not. Some people say that it's always coming home in the group stages and the qualifiers, but when it comes to the main games, nothing happens. But anyways, folks, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Become a member if you can. Super chat right away so you can get your comments highlighted. We are live right now on NUFC Talk. Yeah, we got a new guest though, 48 Newcastle fan. He's doing content as well on Roots TV. That's his channel, so you can check it out, of course. But first of all, you're a Newcastle fan, so we want to know a bit of how you became a fan and you know, really your history. So we've seen you on 90s Mags, which is great. You know, we've seen you there. So how's it going, mate? Welcome, by the way.
Yeah, all good, man. Thank you very much for having me on, man. Yeah, it's been a Newcastle fan for nearly 30 years now. As you can probably tell by my accent, I'm not from Newcastle, but you know, I fall in love with them and been in love with them ever since like the Kevin Keegan era. Les Ferdinand was my favourite player, and yeah, just been supporting them through the good and the bad, mainly through the bad. And now it's the good times. So obviously it was long-term vision of supporting a team that's like 400 miles away from me. Now it's actually starting to come good. But yeah, it's fun times right now.
Heck yeah, man. Well, welcome to the channel. We'd love to have you here, man, to get everybody's. But we know this channel is about all fans, you know, from different backgrounds, from different places. So lovely to get you on here, to get your takes on a lot of things going on in the Toon right now, man. Especially this new article here that came out today from the iPaper by was it Mark Douglas, who said that Newcastle's plot to stop 3 stars becoming the next Alexander Isak, which I think includes Tonali, Botman, and there's another one in there. In Gordon. Gordon, I think. So we're gonna get into that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, of course. So please, folks, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you to everyone that tuned in from the England match, of course. That's an interesting match. A beatdown, really. 5-0, as the lads say. As far as the international mags, well, Sweden sacked their manager. So sacked in the morning, definitely. There was talks that Ilanga was cursing in the dugout that we need to change this in the tunnel, this bleeping formation. I don't know. I didn't watch the game, obviously, but some say that he wasn't played because Isak was playing where he was supposed to play. And as far as I know, they've always been friends. But regardless, he's not happy with the current situation over there. But so I think they're going to make it anyway. But I mean, if they wouldn't, it kind of would be weird, surprising to say the least. But I don't. This whole thing on social media about, you know, Isak and everything about fans aren't happy that everything goes bad with Isak. I don't have time, really. I don't have time to give him any energy, bad or good. I don't wish anybody ill. So that's kind of my mentality on it. But what do you guys make of the? I mean, fans are hurt. You know, they want to see him not succeed. So, but it also, in the same token, we got Kraft and Ilanga there, so it's not a good thing that they don't make it to the World Cup per se. But what do you guys make of that situation? I mean, our fans.
I do not want the rat to do well. End of. Full stop. Period. Done. Done. You make your bed, you make your bed, you lie in it. Simple as.
Yeah, but what about Ilanga though? He
Good
does.
riddance.
But does Ilanga not deserve to go to the World Cup? By the way, you're in the middle, 40, but me and Win, we are two nemesis, man. We can't see each other. We go at it all the time. But you'll get it here in a minute, man. Don't worry. The stuff that he said.
Okay.
But
I mean, I'd rather
yeah.
forget about the guy if I'm being honest, man.
Exactly.
Like, he's had his time. Like, he's taken up too much of our time anyway, just this whole summer. And for me, well, nothing great. Like, you've seen the way Baltimore has just taken the goal scoring at St James's Park. That's a duck to water. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't really need to be thinking about him, whether it be for Sweden, whether it be in the Premier League. We've got Voltemada now. Like, Voltemada is doing absolute bits, right? He scored 3 goals already. Do you know what I mean? So, for me, that's Sweden's problem. That's Liverpool's problem. The only time we need to worry about Sweden is for the current players, which is Elanga and Kraft. For me, Isak's dead to me. He's lost his legendary status. That's it. Like, I don't really need to worry about him no more now. Like, we've got a new goal-scoring hero. I'd rather put all my eggs in my Newcastle basket than worry about the past. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no,
Well
fair
said,
point.
that
Fair point.
man.
Well said. So there you go. Brazil lost to Japan today. I think 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a
That
weird
was the
one.
last. I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't get a feed for it anywhere.
Yeah, and so they lost that one. A lot of criticism, of course. Brazil is a big team in the world of football, so they are always going to be in the limelight when it comes to national teams. They
You're
want.
seeing Sack in the morning. Apparently, they're not happy with Ancelotti.
Well, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles when it comes to them, But and they're not too fan of Joe. They're not too much a fan of Joe Linton because of he's not the typical Brazilian Jogo Bonito type, player. But I mean, they forget that they had what is it, Ramirez, who wanted to play for Chelsea, didn't he? Yeah, I think something like that. And he wasn't, he was a holding midfield. Although obviously Joe Linton is not so much. I think he could be a great one, but he plays more. He plays in a role where he's supposed to be creative, and he's not really that for Newcastle. But we understand that. In Brazil, they can't fathom the thought that a creative midfielder can't create. So
I think if they seen him when we got him in to what he is now, I think they should be happy with
True.
what we've managed to shape him into, because he couldn't hit a barn door for a toffee when we got him. Do you know what I mean? Remember, he was a number 9, and now he's a number 7, breaking lines and all the rest of it now. So I think they should be thanking Eddie Howe rather than slandering him, because he did not. Look like
There is
nobody.
no way on God's earth he would ever have gotten the Brazilian team as a striker.
no, not at all.
So
Not at all.
at least they've got a player that they wouldn't have had at all.
Italy, I don't know how
Whether
they've done
they
just
rate him
now.
or
But
not.
Italy just finished their game as well against Israel. So I don't know how that's going. But they beat Estonia. But Tonali is just, I mean, he's unbelievable. He's great at whatever he plays cricket. He'll be great at that. So it's just how it goes, man. But we got one of the great midfielders in the world right now, man. It's
Is anyone worried a bit about what he's saying of late, like in terms of hinting on, I could be back in Italy soon, or or is it to be expected? Because for me, it's nice that he's doing so well, but now everyone's starting to see his brilliance. Do you know what I mean? Now
Oh, yeah.
people start sniffing around, and before you know it, he might start looking elsewhere and getting his head turned and all the rest of it. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. No doubt. I think but it's inevitable, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Is he going to go back to Italy? I think we've all talked about it. I think he will. He will eventually. I mean, you can't. He's Italian. Now, whether he'll go to retire, which is listen, is he going to stay in Newcastle forever? It's a tough task to ask anybody that. I actually think that Bruno is a possibility that Bruno stays forever, because I just think that I'm not trying to be a hater here, but I think that Bruno has every capability to stay in Newcastle for a long time. He's really good. I just don't see a Real Madrid or a Barcelona coming in for Bruno, and so I think it's we're made for each other with Bruno. I don't have an issue with that, and Tonali is different, man. Tonali is just different sauce. Boki, what do you? I mean, you know, the obviously we know that the
Three
rumors.
three nil now to Italy. They've just scored again.
Okay, there you go. So we know that obviously Tonali is, you know, eventually he probably could leave. But what is there a possibility that we can persuade him to stay if big clubs come? I mean, it's a climbing to Mount Everest, isn't it?
100%. Nice to meet you, 40, by the way. I think it's the first time
Nice
I've been
meeting,
on
mate.
with you. Yeah, 100%. We could keep him. We've just got to offer him the right wage. None of the stupid ideas of boosting his wage up to give him
Yeah.
sort of a decent the money he should be on. As I said last night, he should be on a high wage with good incentives to get more out of it. And we have to show that we're ambitious as a club as well. We have to show him that we want to progress with him. And to be honest, with this team, it's probably a team now that if he does sign a new contract, one of the things you see is we'll build this team around you, lad. So you'll be the focal point of the team, and you're a world class player, and the rest of the team will be built around you. And if I'm honest, I think I would probably look to give him the captaincy as well. I think he's the one player on the pitch who actually shows passion when he's sorry, not the one player on the pitch. Trips is good at it as well, but I think he's one of the
Yeah.
only players that on the pitch that shows the passion to sort of to boss players around, and he's not scared to see if somebody does something wrong.
No, I agree with that actually because I've seen him yell just a few times, but it's that person that only yells and shouts when needed. You know, when time needs it. Like you know, again, when we talk about captains, talking about Bruno, I say that he's not a captain. I don't see him being a captain yesterday or today, and people see that as a negative. I'm criticizing. He is good. Playing football is not the same as being a captain or being a leader. To me, he doesn't show any leadership role. Yelling at the fans, telling them to get up, that's not a leader. That's not really a captain. Although people like Win, for example, here we go. You know, that's what they feed off. You know, fans like Win. You know, that's what really they just want somebody to just telling them to get up and all that. That they feel like that's really relevant. But a captain is different thing. You know, obviously he has to. And I think Tonali is good. Even in Italy, man. We watch Italy all the time because of him, and he's just a different player. And he's still young, by the way. He's still young. He's nowhere near a mature age. So I'm all for it. But I don't see that happening though, Boki. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. It is impossible to me to think that Eddie Howe will take the captaincy away from Bruno now. It's.
I
It
think,
wouldn't- I
I
don't.
think the captaincy, giving Bruno the captaincy was the last little bit to keep him on side because I think he was close to probably leaving, if I'm being honest. Like the run of
Yeah.
form that he was on prior to the captaincy, you know what I mean? Like there was probably clubs sniffing around him. So I think he's been given that role to kind of sweeten the deal sort of thing, almost like that's the last straw because barring obviously qualifying for European football, there was not much to kind of negotiate with because he can get good wages elsewhere. It like Boki said, it's like it's the more of the where are we seeing ourselves in 3 to 4 years time. That's what the players want to know. That's the reason why Isak left. He probably seen like they can only get to a certain level, whereas Liverpool are already at that level and pushing on further. So that's what my main worry is, and obviously we know the reasons why. It's due to PSR and all them rubbish numbers and letters and all the rest of it. So that's my only thing is that are we going to be hampered by this whole PSR, FFP and da 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 da, and then we might end up having to sell another one of our star players because when we start doing that, I feel like we're taking multiple steps backwards. I think we got lucky in this exchange where we managed to get rid of Isak and bring in Voltamada, and I think we've actually leveled up. But can we keep doing it each and every single time? Who knows? That's the main thing.
When you got something to say, man? Because 40
Well,
is
I'm just
he's
looking
got,
at,
he's got you on against the ropes right now, man.
looking at there's nobody got me against the ropes. Looking at tonight's performance, that wouldn't bother me if we had to sell Tonali and we got Anderson in his place.
Oh, you see what I'm saying, man?
Christ.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
Hey,
man,
listen, Mighty Win, listen, come on, be honest with me, yeah? Be honest with me. So when we had Anderson, Were you saying he was better than Tonali at the time?
Absolutely not, because he wasn't.
There we go. So
We
he's
haven't-
had to
No,
leave.
but with going away and getting game time, his game has improved 100%.
I agree,
You know,
but he's not the Tonali level.
do I still think he's not better than Tonali? Do I? Hell, is he hell? Tonali's far better. But, if Tonali doesn't want to play for the Toon, I'm not bothered. Get rid of him. I only
But
want
how come you-
players here. I only want players here who want to play for us.
But
Simple
why are you making that assumption about Tonali? Why do you have that cloud over Tonali? If he doesn't want to,
I'm not making that assumption at all.
Because
See,
you
the
don't
proof
say
of
that about
the
Bruno.
proof of the put the proof of the pudding will be when you offer him a contract and see if he'll sign it. And if he'll sign it, fantastic. I'm the happiest man in the world.
Yeah, but you're putting something that everybody's going to agree. If he doesn't want to be here, obviously, not any fan is not going to say, yeah, kidnap him and keep him here, just like the Isak situation. But so Corey, thank you for the super chat. Says Win needs to immediate jail time after that statement. And we're going to sort it out. We're going to sort it out.
Throw away the key.
The question of the night, Mighty Win brought it up, so he likes doing this. So we're going to put it to the folks, the people. This is the people channel, baby, and they're going to vote. Tonali or Anderson?
People.
Well, I do actually. So Tonali or Anderson? It's plain simple.
No, simple. If Tonali won't sign a contract, a new contract, do you get rid of him? Well, we can get
Nobody's going to vote. Nobody's going to vote in favor of that.
Is Tonali better than Anderson? Because Anderson isn't better than Tonali. The question is, if Tonali won't sign a new contract, would you sell him?
Chris, you can't argue with this. You can't argue with this guy.
That's an obvious thing.
This afternoon in the chat, he was on about Bruno and Tonali and said Tonali's the best player, but I want to keep Bruno.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Because he does this to the fans. That means anything.
Listen, I actually get where he's coming from. He's not actually lost his mind. I get where he's coming from. He rates. I love him. I know he's got logic. He rates Tonali, but I hear what he's saying in terms of if he doesn't want to be here, similar to Isak, then get rid of him. And cash
The
in.
rat, please. The rat. We're doing season here.
The rat.
But
we get rid of the rat, and then Tonali becomes another rat if he doesn't want to be here. Obviously, we'll keep him. He's not deluded, but at the same time, if he wants to go, we're not going to hold players here against their will. So I get what he's saying in that regard. So Anderson might be a good person to bring in. I don't know if he'll be a like-for-like replacement, but again, he knows the club. He loves the club. I don't think it'll take much convincing to come back. So I hear what he's saying in that regard. So it's maybe the way he delivered it, or Chris is just trying to wind him up. But anyway, he's not up anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Come on, man.
You're out your mind, man.
Well, listen, that definitely Win. You have definitely. Hold on, let's pause for a second, right? We got more news coming up about Fabian Sherry coming up. Thank you, Connor, in the background. I just want to know, Win. Let me tell you something, man. What's the matter with you? England won.
It ain't nothing the matter with me, bunny lad.
So you're choosing Anderson over Tonali. Explain your case, man. Nobody's going to interrupt you.
I'm not.
Just think about
I'm
it.
not preferring Anderson over Tonali. I'm simply saying, if Tonali doesn't want to sign his contract, that's fine. That's his prerogative. He's entitled to do that. He's a professional footballer. He has got no loyalty to Newcastle United whatsoever, and that's fine. You can have that, and he's absolutely entitled to it, and deserves it, and deserves to go wherever he wants to go and play for whoever he wants to play for because he's that good, right? But if we offer him a contract and he says he wants to go elsewhere, I'm just saying good riddance. I only want players here who want to play for us. Simple as. And what I say is, if we were to sell him, we could get just about the nearest thing to him. And you're not going to knock that off, mister. Paul Momo, bail for Win.
Did you hear the violin music for Win?
Oh, dear.
Oh, my God. There you go. We're going to bail him out just because the people get to decide. But I'm just saying, man, that is some rubbish. Take that. But look, it is what it is.
We are knackered.
You are knackered indeed,
Go on,
man.
Borky, you've got the conch, son. What are you going to say?
you want to sell the best midfielder that we've
I
ever
don't want
had.
to sell him.
That we've had it.
Yep, that we've ever had. You see, if he
Correct.
doesn't sign a new contract straight away, you're going to get rid of him in January. You negotiate. If he doesn't sign a new contract straight away, you offer him a little bit more, or you incentivize him more, or you prove as a club you're going in the direction
hang
he
on.
wants to go.
Whoa,
You
hang
don't.
on.
Not only hard to come. You
What do
don't
we
want.
do?
You
We
don't want to.
incentivise it more. How do we do that? By offering more bonuses.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute.
No,
This is
look.
what you were condemning me for yesterday.
No, win. Why would anybody? Nobody's ever going to say if Tonali wants to leave, keep him. Who? No right fan in their mind will say that. Not one. So, you can't anyway. It's proven with Isak.
So I do speak for the people then.
No, you don't really. No, not at all. But we gotta pause there. Thank you, Paul.
I've
Moses.
got a bail in hand there, by the way.
Somebody put this guy in jail, man. TBR reporting right now that Fabian Schär, this is minutes ago, by the way, that Newcastle's boss Eddie Howe holds Fabian Schär in huge regard. He has been outstanding serving for him. Likewise, Kieran Trippier and Nick Pope, none are going to get lengthy extensions, but a 12-month deal should not be discounted. With Newcastle and PSR problems, you can have 20, 50 million pound players, but even if you can afford it, you are not allowed. That's a quote. It also says, so keeping players such as Schär, Trippier, and Pope, who are international players with huge experience, Howe knows just how important these players are. This is an area we can expect Newcastle to assess in the new year. Schär has a desire to go back to Switzerland to play and could make that decision this summer. So what do we make of that? Just came in right now, not too long ago, from TBR Football, and I think, who is the guy that covers Newcastle Northeast? Who got his name now? No, man. Middlesbrough. No, that's Daily Mail. The Middlesbrough fan guy. I forgot his name. But either way, so that's what's coming in right now. What do you guys make of that situation?
Causing trouble.
Oh my God, man, that's not fair, man. My man just spoke sense. But anyway, that's that. So what do you guys make of the?
James Cuff's in there right now talking sense. You're arguing with Win, but changing his argument. He never said Anderson is better than Tonali, and he never said he wants to sell Tonali. Exactly. End of.
You're saying if Tonali wants to leave, yeah, that's an obvious thing. That shouldn't be in the conversation. Of course, if he wants to leave, anybody that wants to leave, he can go.
Right.
They can
so
go.
what else have I said that's so contentious?
That you said you'll take Anderson. You wouldn't be bothered if Tonali wants to leave because Anderson can come in. That means you must assume that Anderson is on the same level or better than Tonali. I must assume that.
I'm not
Because
saying that.
if you're not bothered that Tonali would leave, because I would be sick. I would call in for the week from work if Tonali wants to leave. You know what I'm saying? And if you bring Anderson, I'll still be sick. So that is the problem. We see 48 now. You walked into a lion's den now, man. This is it's the trenches in here, man. It's the trenches. So anyway, when I'm just saying, man, you just take that back, man. Just take it back real quick, and we can continue.
I'm not going to take it back at all, and I stand what I said this morning in the stick or twist.
Well, whatever.
With the Tonali and Bruno.
Yeah, and then you said that you would repeat it.
But I agree that I'm wrong about that. That doesn't alter the way I feel.
Wait, Tom. Wait, hold
We
on.
are knackered.
So you're wrong, and you still say it.
That's right, exactly. Because Bruno is Mr. Newcastle for me, and that'll do for me all day long. Is Tonali a better footballer than Bruno? Yes, he is. Out of the two, which one would I keep if I had to choose one? I would choose Bruno. There you go. End of. That's
so
me.
you want a club of just buddies and friends that hold hands each other and just.
And that's
do
what I said. It's
that's what you want. That's what you want.
I'm quite happy to be little old Newcastle, etc., etc. And if that's the case, so be it. There you go.
We can go back to the way the Mike Ashley era and just hunky dory. Just keep making money.
You're conflating two completely different things.
Because I want to win, and I want players that can actually win. And
I want
Tonali,
to win as well.
if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to choose Tonali any day. And I think, let me ask you a question, Boki, who would you choose, Bruno or Tonali?
Tonali, 100%. He's world class.
There you go. No doubt about it. It's just as simple as 48. Who do you?
I wouldn't
I'm
pick
actually
him.
going to go with Vin, though. I'm going to go with Bruno.
Uh,
I see what he's talking. Listen, I know what he's talking about. He's just
because he's
delivering
not
he's
a fan,
delivering
man.
No.
Man.
He means that he wants people that are going to be here. And don't say, it's not like Bruno and Tonali are chalk and cheese. It's not like Bruno's a terrible player and Tonali's been holding the team together. Like,
Exactly.
come on now. Bruno is a good player as well. A
Bruno's
fantastic player.
quality.
Do you know what I mean?
But
You saw the goal that he
yes,
scored the other week.
why do we assume? Why do we make? Because we say we choose. You guys would choose Bruno because Bruno he's a Mr. Newcastle and he loves the Toon. What makes us believe that Tonali doesn't like Newcastle? He just said Newcastle is his home.
There's
So
nothing.
what?
Nothing at all.
So
And
you
the proof of that will come when he's offered his contract,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll see.
but you can say the same thing about Bruno when he's offered a new contract, or actually somebody that wants him comes and puts an offer for him. If he'll say no, none of them have yet. And that rumor that Man City.
By all accounts, Man City have.
First of all, Man City, with all due respect, they're a great club, but they're no Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich. None of that.
So you keep
So-
on seeing, man.
Does any older? I'm going to throw this in there to everyone. Does anybody think Tonali's here because he owes us a season from when he did the whole gambling thing? Because that's my little inkling that he kind of feels a little bit indebted to us, that he needs to stick around for a little bit longer.
Maybe so, which is fair
Because of
enough. Maybe
Well,
he wants to.
I would love that to be the case because I think it's right that he should.
Well, and the question is, guy, why can't we have both? Exactly. Your answer should be
Exactly. That's
no.
what
But
I'm after.
you
Utopia.
should go. No, but you should go there and say that because none of them have given me any inclination that they want to leave or they're not Mr. Newcastle. They're
Absolutely.
then they can both stay. No, but you choose one because of him being this Newcastle, this Geordie at heart that you
Given a hard choice of one or the other, that's the one I would choose.
that's right, man.
I think as you've
With
said,
my
you've said in
heart,
the
not
past,
my head.
I think as you've said in the past, Chris, Wynn's going off victim, obviously the victim syndrome in regards to we're so used to being let down by people and players.
That's Battery
You know,
wife syndrome. Battery wife syndrome.
he's expecting Tonali to do it. Tonali's given no indication at all he wants to leave the Newcastle.
Have I ever said he had?
Oh, get Chris in jail. Go on.
Hey, Corey, you gonna do that to me, man? You gonna do that to me, man?
Wins the warden now.
All right, we're gonna make it happen. There you go. Lock up, man. Come on, what's going on here, man? Somebody better bail me out. The warrant can be the chief can't be in jail, but I got the keys anyway. I got the corruption, man. I'll get out in a second. But listen, we got to go in this article though from iPaper that says Newcastle's plot to stop 3 stars from becoming next Alexander Isak. So it says that the new sporting director Ross Wilson will lead an audit into the contract situation of Newcastle United's top players as the club look to head off a repeat of the damaging Isak saga. Isak's the way he left, obviously, that left a big imprint on how Newcastle is going to proceed next. His behavior was dreadful, according to this, and there has always been acceptance behind the scenes that the Newcastle project needs to keep pace with the aspirations of their best players, and ultimately, the Swede exposed an issue that the club's new hierarchy needs to address. Can they keep hold of their elite stars is the main question, according to this article. Insiders of Newcastle United admit that lessons have been learned from that saga. And first of all, the fact that I don't think it should be any surprise that the fact that Ross Wilson is the one that's going to be in charge of all of this, right? Because Wynn might want Eddie Howe to be in charge of everything. That's something that it's happening now for you, that people want Eddie Howe to be in charge of everything, the cheeseburgers and everything else, man. So what do you make of that? By all means, that seems to be the case as far as incoming players. What do you think because we haven't heard from you, should Eddie Howe be the one that's in charge of everything Newcastle United related as far as players is concerned, or should it be a mutual agreement between the DOF and the manager?
No, gone are those days where the manager's just solely responsible for everything. Like those are the Fergie era where they have the run of the club. Now the manager or the head coach, as some people may call it, is just solely responsible for the first team. You've got sporting directors, directors of football, whatever you want to call them, of you know dealing with that side of things, and then obviously they communicate with the manager. But again, it's more of a team effort rather than just the manager has the final say and all the say, and that's it. So yeah, it makes sense. So we wouldn't have brought him in otherwise. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to just bring him in just as a shiny new toy. His role is to better us on the pitch as well as Eddie Howe. So he needs to make sure that we bring in the correct players and obviously keep hold of our better players as well. So I think it's going to be a communication of the two, combination of the two, should I say, in terms of making sure that we qualify for Europe again, because that's going to have a major dealing with whether we keep these players or not. But also, are we looking at the right players? I still don't think we're complete in terms of all the players that we needed to get. We had a good summer, albeit with the Rat saga, but I still feel like we needed another midfielder. I think that we definitely needed that because I feel like we were a bit light in terms of that drop off from the big three. Because once Bruno, Joe, and Tonali are out, then it drops down to Willock and Lewis
Ramsey
Miley,
now.
and I don't think it's just like up the same stand. Yes, we brought in Jacob Ramsey, but I think that's where he needs to be on the ball and be like, okay, we spotted the next talent who could be like for like replacement, similar to what Arsenal have done with their recruitment. So yeah, that's my answer to your question, bro.
So, Win, now you got the floor. So you wanna let him know what you have decided for the club?
Well, I'm quite happy with the director of football looking after contracts. That's his job.
No. But that's not the question. I'm sorry, that wasn't the question, man. The question I asked for you
No, you
was
want to make the question someone that I'm going to say Eddie Howe should have the final say. And as
no,
far as
but
I'm concerned, Eddie Howe should have the final say on first team players.
so whoever we sign, Eddie Howe is the one that needs to make that decision. Nobody else needs to
As
know
far
about it.
as first team players are concerned, yes.
Wow. But you're still maintaining that, which you are
Yeah, I'm still maintaining that.
you are
I'm, not,
consistent with
I'm saying by all means in collaboration with, obviously, right, we've been through the scenario a million times. I need a winger who can go past a player and cross a good ball. That's what I need. And then Ross Wilson goes and he comes back with a list of players, these all can do that. And he
Right.
has a look at them and say, right, well, here's my first choice, here's my second choice, here's my third choice. That's fine.
So
No
the
problem.
Ross Wilson is a scout. Okay, so if anybody else want to say
No,
something?
Ross Wilson has a scouting team that do that, and then he goes in and does the deals.
We're in pre-SR problem. I'd be afraid to have somebody getting paid millions a year, and all they do is manage scouts. So I mean that doesn't seem like a DOF job to me. But
I'm just hoping Ross has eyes outside of the Premier League because that's one of my things that I think we've been guilty of. Like we just look at players that have played in the Premier League, which is good in one sense. Obviously, they can't use the whole excuse of like, oh, we can't hit the ground running, da 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 da. But it's always nice to like pick out a gem from I don't know League One. Like I remember back in the Graham Clark era where we picked up loads of French players. Obviously, a lot of hit and miss, but mainly hits. So I think hopefully with this whole Ross Wilson era, he can pick out a gem and save a bit of money on the whole PSR front. So I think that's going to hit us down the line. So that would be my only thing is that hopefully we can look outside of the Prem because otherwise we can keep getting hit with this Prem tax in terms of, we spotted a player, but because it's Newcastle United, we're going to charge you an extra 30 million. Like, I'd rather be like, okay, we can spot a player who's going to, we can bring in who's going to take us to the next level.
yeah, well, that's a good point there. But I don't think he should be in charge of everything. But by all means, he's in charge of Russ Wilson is in charge of this new contract situation. Really though, how hard is it? Like you got a great player, so you just renew his contract. So why is that really rocket science? Why did it fail last time around? Why that's the part I don't understand really. I mean, or maybe just Isak didn't want to stay. Period.
Well, I think that's the top and bottom of it.
Yeah, but you blame Paul Mitchell, so.
Well, I do blame Paul Mitchell in a way.
If we can't get them 3 players to sign, Trips, Shaw and Pope, then we've got major problems.
Yeah.
The age of them now, what we should be doing really is offer them reduced contracts or reduced wages, because they're of an age now where they're not going to be playing every game.
Well, of course, they're going to accept that.
Well, they should be. Well, they would, because they wouldn't get a massive wage anywhere else. And the other problem that with them is as well that if we had the chance with Trippier to get rid of him, not get rid, but to sell him a couple of years ago, and we could have got money back for him. None of them players now are going to earn more money back. And I think the reason we do have to sign at least 2 of them 3 up is at the end of the season, hopefully we're going to lose Lascelles and Kraft in regards to bringing new players in for them. I don't think we're going to have the money to bring another 2-3 players in them positions. So we do need to retain at least 2 of them and then bring another player in. And I think you've got to remember, we're already going to be paying money out for a keeper, whether it be Ramsdale or anybody else, because we do need a second choice keeper still as well.
Well, there were talks earlier today about Mark Ter Stegen, which I think would be brilliant. He's obviously not getting any game time at Barcelona. The manager just chose Garcia, who's been linked with with a lot of clubs in the Premier League as well. But
Pope's been linked with Celtic.
You're going to get Ter Stegen for what? He's going to start. He's going to start before even. He's going to start, and he's going to get paid a lot more than Ramsdale, who's on 130.
I wouldn't be too distraught if we lost Pope. I'll be honest with you. Like his kicking, it winds me up. Like how a professional keeper can't kick a ball, it winds me up. Something rotten. Hands, fine, great at shot stopping. We've seen it in the Arsenal game. Cool, but if you can't use your feet in the 21st century,
that's right.
Yeah, that's that. Again, I wouldn't be crying into my Kleenexes if we lost him next season. Put that way. So
I think we just got to make a decision on him, man. But is Ramsdale? It seems like Pope is Eddie Howe's guy. I mean,
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
And so, but also, there were talks that Ramsdale it was his guy from Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth, right? Did they play? Yeah. So, which one is it, man? He's on a high salary. He's on loan, but he's on one of the higher salaries. So
you look at Pope's Premier League stats at the minute; they're pretty damn impressive. There's only Arsenal, Barcelona, and Liverpool who've scored against him.
But again, when you're going off stats again, if you watch the actual games, his kicking is shocking.
His kicking is shocking. I've never denied it.
You and Gary tend to go completely off stats. What you don't do is use your eyes and actually watch the game at times. And if you watch the game, you can see where the issues are. And the issue is with his kicking and his distribution.
And we say that all the time.
Yeah, but at some point you got to make a decision, don't you? Because you can't keep hoping and praying that he doesn't make a mistake, man. What is this? You can't do it.
Well, like I've been saying for most of the games this season that we've been commentating on, I think the first mistake he makes, the first blatant mistake he makes, that'll be the cue for Ramsdale getting his chance. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's been a conversation behind the scenes between Howe and Ramsdale along the lines of, look, as long as he's keeping clean sheets, the position's his, and that would be the same situation with you. If you get your chance and get between the sticks and keep clean sheets, you're there.
I mean,
until you do.
No, but
that's a great position to be in. It's a great position to be in.
As good as the game he had against Arsenal, he still was for me, he was at fault for their winner. Like, he should have come out and claimed that or punched it away.
No, yeah. He totally missed it. And you can't just look at, okay, we didn't allow goals against whoever. That means Pope was amazing. No, that don't work. That doesn't work like that, man. Football is not like that and looked at like that anymore. You got to see how many times did he actually stop the other team from scoring. You got to watch it.
Look at those stats, He did stop the team from scoring. He made some fantastic saves.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. You can use that. you can use that. But if I'm a manager that I want to be proactive and I want to play from the back, and then I might have to make another adjustment, because that doesn't mean that Ramsdale is atrocious stopping the ball, is he? Is he bad?
Well,
Because we
I
keep
hope
saying
he
that,
can.
So when you're,
The one good season that Ramsdale had for Arsenal, when they were running away with the league, he was cracking. And as for feet, I don't think there's any comparison between the two of them for the footwork. So
so
it's no big revelation from me that if I was given the choice, I would have Ramsdale in goal.
So going on with this article here, for sporting director Wilson, finding a trading strategy that works is a priority, and that means ensuring Newcastle are, in the words of an insider, better protected when it comes to contracts moving forward. The I paper understands that preliminary talks with England defender Tino Livramento have taken place, and the club also want to tie Tonali and Sven Botman down to extended deals. Livramento and Tonali's contract run until 28, while Botman, who has been in very good form so far this season, has a more pressing need with his deal expiring in 27. Decisions on the future of Schär and Trippier, who have less than 12 months remaining on their contracts, are also required. First of all, you would assume that, because we're naming a lot of these players and all of a sudden it feels like it's a lot to do and what can we do? Come on, man, this is your job 24/7 on a daily basis. So I would assume that, is it that hard to renew these people all the time, negotiate? I mean, obviously you got to negotiate, but it can't be. You can't do it one at a time, can you?
No, but you got to also look into their situation. Like, it's going to be their final contract that they're going to get. So again, they're going to be thinking, okay, what are my options here? Am I going to stay at Newcastle for my last 3 or 4 years, or am I going to be looking around, seeing, okay, there might be a project in America that I can get more money, or I might be getting more game time at a lesser club that's still in the Premier League. So again, that's the reason why they've got to be assessing their options. It's not as easy as just, it's Newcastle United, of course I'm going to sign my next 4 or 5 years away. Do you know what I mean? Like Trippier, he'll be still wanted by clubs, regardless of the transfer fee. Share, again, he's been solid for us, so again, he'll be wanted by clubs. Pope as well, like you said, he'll be linked to Celtic, so it's not just as easy as that. So I think it's really a case of convincing them what's going on around the club. Like, are we building a new stadium? Are we looking to sign 3 or 4 players in January and then more in the next summer window? Like, what is the plans for the future and how can I be a part of it? It might be even a case of, okay, do I get a role after that? Like, I can see Trippier in some sort of coaching management role, not necessarily for us, but it's a case of like selling everything to them, not just how much you want again, and then sign your life away. It's more than that.
Yeah.
But Fordy, do you not think the age of these players, we don't have to sell the club to them now? If we can get them to sign up for an extra season, it's great. And it means it gives us a little bit of time to buy new players. But at this point, they're not the future of the club. They're going to be bit part players next season at the best.
Yeah, but that's coming from our point of view. It's like from their point of view. Imagine if you're Trippier and you're 33 and you're only getting a year extension at us, or you could get 2 years, down the road at Leeds or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And get. I mean, you're gonna think of your family's point of view. Okay, I've got 2 years of, let's say, 40 grand a week coming in compared to 1 year of 40 grand a week. You're probably gonna say, okay, I'm gonna secure my family's future for that extra season. And it's just down the road.
That knackers us for if we start signing them type of players for 2-3 years contracts, it absolutely sets us up for a fall PSR money wise, because we're sort of going to be, sort of have players on the books that we don't need anymore, and now I've got no value.
But Boki, you're gonna have to. First of all, Trippier, I don't think is on the same boat as Lascelles or Rudy or them guys. I think you can still get him a contract. I think he's gonna prefer probably to stay in England because, for what we know, I mean, we really don't know anything. But really, I think his kids are in England and he wants to stay nearby his kids unless they want to. I don't think he's married to his wife and kids, so therefore, it's leaving. It's not. Everybody leaves together. It's fine usually. But the fact that he would be separated from his kids is probably a big deal, and he would probably keep him in England. But yeah, a longer contract would be kind of tough to match if he gets a longer contract with Brighton or something, or Brentford, and then I don't think we could match that. And Lascelles and those guys, though, I mean, it's over for them guys. I don't think there's any question. But Livramento, conversations have taken place. Tonali, but Botman, do you guys think on Botman? Because I don't know about Botman, man. I mean, Botman is good. Now is good when he's playing, but the jury's still out whether he can be that guy or he can stay healthy to be that guy. I mean, listen, I said it when Gordon was up for getting his contract. I said, don't give him all this money because we don't know. And until this day, we still don't know about Gordon, right? But he's on the contract now. You've got to. So, what do you guys make of Botman? Is he the guy you need to put in all your money in for? Because what happens if he gets hurt again? And now what? I think if he gets hurt again, now you got to make an executive decision because he might be good, but if he's not good enough to be on the pitch, he ain't that good. So what do you guys make of Botman? Do you have any doubts of him?
It's a risk. Sorry, Corey, you go first.
No, okay. I mean, I had my sort of doubts after he was coming back from the injury. Like people that come back from the injury usually don't get up to the same sort of speed that they was before. But I really feel now he's alongside Chow. That is the future of our defence. Like, Livramento, Chow, Botman, Lewis Hall potentially. That is the back four if we can keep them for the next 4 or 5 years at least. I still think they need supporting artists or supporting acts, if you like. That's the reason why we might sign on a share for another season or two, just so we have that cover. But I think Botman is the future alongside Chow. Like they both just put me at ease. I mean, I've been supporting them for so long, where you've had the likes of Boomsong and Marcelino in defence. Like, so again, just to see those two alongside each other, it puts me at ease. So I definitely think they are the future of the club, man. Like, even if Botman doesn't, he's lost that yard of pace, he's got someone like Shower alongside him who can make up for his shortcomings, so to speak. So yeah, I'm not too worried about Botman.
Yep, Bogey.
I just think with injuries, he's had injuries. You're quite right, but you look at the likes of Wissa signing for when everybody when he signed. Oh, it's brilliant because he's never had a single injury. He's been absolutely fine. He's played just about every game he could have. But then look what happened with him. You can't. You have to take into account the injuries that they've had, but you can't make your decision fully on the past of injuries. And with Botman, he's a class act. I think he's probably up there with the best central defenders we've had. And in regards to that, you've got to, you're beginning to see a hell of a partnership beginning to build up with him and Chow. And if them two can do that, it's 40 seasons. If they can do that for the next 5, 6, 7 seasons, I think the sky's the limit in regards to we'll have a brilliant defence. We've already got 2 good midfielders. If we can get that third midfield position filled where Joe Linton is, and then hopefully the front 3 start to kick in, it's a hell of a squad to have and a hell of a team to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm just cautious. I mean, I don't want it to be. I mean, to be fair though, his injuries, you can say one was a really bad one, but it could be a one-time type thing. But he's always kind of been in and out. I would actually say that Chow is looking very, very excellent. I actually think he's better than Botman at the moment. Somebody saying that he's our best defender. Botman is. I don't know, man, but I can say that about Chow. Chow looks like so smooth and confident, nothing bothers him. He's fast. He's tall. He's strong. First of all, I don't see any inclination that Shar is coming onto this team. Do you guys think that he will? Unfortunately, I don't think that Shar is coming back to be the main guy again. What do you guys think?
Shaw's cover now, isn't he? He's when doing that karaoke, he keeps dropping in and out. Anyway,
well, it's trying to get his sound sorted.
Chow's sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But Chow's just he seems to be world class to me, and in regards to that, I think he has proven that it's going to be it's going to be a great competition to see who's been the best signing between him and Voltemara this window, because I think we've got a brilliant new defender and a brilliant new striker. And as I say, as hopefully over the next 4 or 5 seasons, the two of them are playing out to prove to us who's been the best signing that we've had.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever been in this situation before, not to my knowledge, where we've had 4 good centre halves at the club. Like, you know, if Chow goes down injured, Cher can come in. If Botman gets injured again, Byrne can step in. Like, we've got 4 really good centre halves at the club. So again, anyone who's under the age of like 20, this is not a usual thing where we have multiple good defenders at the club. This is a rarity for anyone over the age of 20 or 25, should I say.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree that we're in a great situation right now. Boki, go ahead.
I think as well, if you look at it, I can never remember we're having this a good a centre half partnership. Potentially, it's got potential. It's a bit early to say that, but this good potentially centre half partnership. We've had good centre halves at times, but never with a partner who's been, you know, in the same league as them. Whereas I think these two lads, if they go forward together, they could be a hell of a force in the Premier League. They could be one of the best Premier League back two that you've like central defenders that you've ever seen working together.
Yeah. No. I mean, well, people, it was great, but you know, he didn't play with anybody that was up to par with his levels. But no, yeah, well, Coachino was great though, man. Maybe he wasn't as talented as Chow, and then, but you know, I always appreciate Coloccini for what, and it wasn't his fault that we were a bad team at the time.
But
So
Coloccini never had another central defender next to him, Chris, who was as good as him.
Yeah.
So the Coloccini was a great central defender, but we never had another one next to him who was as good. I mean, I think probably the closest you got was him and Stephen Taylor, which
Yeah.
wasn't brilliant. Coloccini was, but I think the guy he was playing next to was always below his par. Whereas I think these two players will push each other to see who's going to be the best.
yeah. I think there's no doubt that Chow and Butman are going to be the next really big thing for Newcastle United. Will Newcastle utilize release clauses to get deals done? This article continues to say. What do you guys think of that? Because that could be a trigger. Well, I mean, if you give him a high release clause, you're gonna have to pay him a lot of money as well. So if you put 150 million on Tonali, for example, I mean, you're gonna have to pay him as if he is worth 150 million pounds, and that could be anywhere north of, I don't know, 250, 270, to 300. Can we do that? Is the question. I think we could do it on one player, but Gordon is on this list. I don't know why Gordon is on this list, to be honest. He got his new contract, and I don't think he's earned a newer contract. So,
see, with Gordon's situation, look, feel free to shoot me down, but Gordon's the one I don't mind losing out of the big players that we've got, because he's been hit and miss for me, and I feel like a winger is a lot easier to replace than centre halves and centre midfielders. So for me, Gordon, if we got a good offer for Gordon, you know, upper of 70, 80 million, thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you for your services. Happy to let him go. Like, if we brought in someone like Semenyo to replace him, or someone from abroad, you know, to do exactly what he does and a bit more, then I'm happy with that. Like, I'm not trying to get rid of him, so don't say like I'm trying to get rid of Anthony Gordon. But like, if I was to choose one of our quote unquote Galacticos or one of our better players, then Gordon will be the one for me to cash in on next, in order to, you know, help us build around the team, because that's what we're lacking. We're lacking strength and depth. We've got a good first team 11, maybe a good 13, 14 at a push, but I want to be at the Arsenal stage where we can swap in a Tonali and have someone that just of equal measure coming in, or Voltemara gets injured. Yep, we've got whoever waiting in the wings. Yep, get him in straight away. So for me, if it was to get a good offer for Gordon, as long as we've got someone who's ready to come in, get him in, get him gone, and that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do as well. We need to strengthen our trading, because one thing that Paul Mitchell was alluding to, which I kind of agreed to a certain extent, is that we haven't got players. Like, if we get rid of one of our players, it's going to be one of our better players. Whereas if you look like at Chelsea, for example, they can get rid of a youngster for £40 million and it's not affected the first team. Whereas we get rid of an Isak and obviously see what happened over the summer. Or if we get rid of a Gordon, we have to find someone who's ready for the first team. So I think we need to get in players like we did with Minter, where we just used him basically to get money in for the club, if that makes sense. Hopefully I've delivered that correctly. Yeah.
No. I mean, actually, I don't have. And look, I don't want any of these guys to leave. I criticize the players when I feel like I need to, but that doesn't mean I don't want them. I want Gordon to succeed because we paying him all this money. So I think there's a talented guy in there. But if to me, the time to sell him, if that was the case, was exactly when Newcastle wanted to sell him to Liverpool, and we didn't, which was right before he got a new contract last season, I believe. And so now we're winning. Are you back? Your mic is not selected now, man.
Can you hear me?
There you go. Unfortunately. There you go, man.
What the hell happened there?
Yeah, but there you go. You're back, man. Andy Bell probably will join us soon as well. So, but we were talking when this is your favorite topic of will Newcastle United utilize release clauses to get deals done? Newcastle are no strangers to using a release clause to tempt a player into committing their future to Newcastle. Bruno G in 23. He included a £100 million release clause that could be triggered for 1 month in June. Remember that at the time, and then that expired, obviously. So the iPaper understands there is a release clause in the new deal signed by Anthony Gordon a year ago, at a similar level, although it is unclear what the specifications of it are. And the winger enjoyed a summer refreshingly free of transfer uncertainty. Of course. But that was this summer, because last summer really was upsetting to him that we wanted to sell him to Liverpool. But apparently he has a release clause in his contract. What would it be? What would you think it would be for little Anthony Gordon? A release clause for him. I know you will probably say £300 million, but that is not true.
I'd say at the time he signed his contract,
for 180 million.
When he was playing out of his skin, you would be looking certainly at 100 million.
I don't think he signed.
When he signed after he was Player of the Year, was playing for England. So yeah, it would be 100,000 then. And if you look at the prices of players today, man, 100 million.
This is the first time I've disagreed with you, mate. I think you'll struggle for 100 mil. I think you would now. You absolutely would now. But I'm saying at the time he signed his contract, when he was at the very top of his game, that's what you would have been looking for him there for. I think 80's a push. I think 80's what?
Right now, I think you're right.
I think if we doubled our money, I'd be happy with that. Doubled your money and then got in someone in for like 50. We've done well.
Yeah, well, I'm not even going to argue with that.
When I think at the I think Anthony Gordon, the type of release clause he's probably got as 40 is probably 70 to 80 million pound. It's definitely not going to be. Let's just finish. He's definitely not going to be 100 million simply down to the fact of how much he signed the contract for. In regards to contracts now, I think any player who signs a new contract is going to put a release clause in it, or their representative is. And to be fair, I think it puts the club in an easier position and the player. Yeah. Because the
point I was going to make was that the idea that these figures are going to be hush and it's nonsense. Because buying teams have got to know that for them to be interested, they've got to know what the buyer.
They're going to know when they ask for the player, but they're not. Newcastle's not going to publicize it somewhere.
Why
if
not?
Bayern Munich says, because they don't have to. If Bayern Munich says, "I want Gordon," how much do you want Gordon for? He has a 100 million release clause. That's how you know about it. They're not going to tell fans how what the release clause is, man.
Why? What's the big secret?
There isn't, but they don't have to do it. but why?
But why? You're saying as if it's some big secret. Why would they
It
choose
isn't.
not to do it?
Because
But
what
why?
happens if a club comes in with a bigger
Why
bid
would
than the buyout clause?
Why would you run the risk of getting a bid that's not above it?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
There you go. Wayne ain't got a clue about
Well,
negotiations.
but
though, man.
the bottom line is, if a player has a buyout clause in his contract,
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you over.
well, it does, because regardless of whether Newcastle want to sell him to a different club, his agent can say, "Look, that club have offered the buyout clause.
No, yeah, that's right. But
We want to go there, and if somebody else is prepared to pay more money, all
why-
that means is they will get paid more
Listen,
money
But the
by
agent
the
can
club
also
that's
say,
offered the money."
the agent can also say that they've offered more than the buyout.
one at a time. One at a time. One at a time.
Sorry,
Come
I'm
on.
saying the agent can also say they've offered more than the buyout clause. So you don't release it because clubs will come in maybe at a higher
Well,
bid than the buyout clauses are.
That's
I
crap.
just don't see what the big deal in the club is not telling the people. I mean, why do they have to tell people? Who cares?
What the release
If-
clause is if the buying club meets it, it means the player is within his rights to talk to that club. It doesn't mean he has to choose that club, but if another club comes in with more money, it doesn't mean that the club has to reject that bid because someone else has bid less. It just means that ultimately, if let's say if Chelsea come in and Anthony Gordon, he's got an £85 million buyout clause. Chelsea come in 85 million, and Man United come in, or Man City or Liverpool, let's say Liverpool say 91 million. It doesn't mean that Gordon's got to go for the £91 million. He can speak to
Exactly.
Chelsea as well. He's got 85 million.
Gordon has a contract that says he can go for 80 million, so he's going to go regardless if some other club's paid more money. If he wants to go to Chelsea for 80 million, all it's going to do is strengthen his hand wages-wise and signing on deal-wise with the club that he's going to. And
Yeah, that's fine, man, but I
Newcastle
don't know why-
will be Newcastle
why are you-
cannot refuse to sell him to a club which has offered the buyout clause.
Wayne, why are you losing
Then if
liver
somebody else
enzyme?
comes in with a bigger bid,
Wayne, why are
which
you
bit of
losing
that do
liver?
you not understand?
Wayne, why are you losing your mind for no reason, man? It's not really that big of a deal, you know.
I'm
But
just
you
laughing
want
at
to know.
PDK's comment, bro.
Because you were using the argument. Why would you publicise the buyout clause? Because somebody might come in with a higher bid. And I'm saying if
Dude, but why do you
somebody
have
comes
to-
in with a higher bid, it's irrelevant. We are
It's
knackered.
not irrelevant if that's the club he wants to go to, Willie, because if that's the club he wants to go to and they're willing to pay more, you get more money.
Wayne,
Well,
first,
if he's
first of all,
willing to go to the club,
You never take over our transfer negotiations because you would just let players go for now.
well, no, you would let them go for less than me, patently, because I said 100 million for Gordon and you said 80.
but nobody's gonna pay 100 million for Gordon. That's nobody with common sense would do that.
No, right now, but at the time he signed his contract, then maybe he would have done.
Maybe that's a recruit. 40. What do you think, man? Because you apologies, man. 'Cause we brought you into this thing. And PDK looking for you. What the WTF got myself into exactly? When is just he has anger problems, so that's why we got the soothing music for him.
You drive him on to anger, you man.
Hey, man, I simply said the club. Why does the club need to be a gun to their head? Release the numbers because win once. What it doesn't matter, man. 40. What do you make of the release clauses with Newcastle United?
As long as we're not mugging ourselves off, then I don't mind them. Do you know what I mean? Like I always draw back to the Alan St-Maximin chanter. I still think that we mugged ourselves off in that sense. Like we let him go for too little, especially at the peak of his powers. Do you know what I mean? He pretty much saved us under the Steve Bruce era, so that still hurts me to this day. But I think we did all right with the Isak transfer. We've managed to recoup and obviously then bring in a player, but of equal measure, if not better. So I think as long as we get what's worth of our players, because Eddie Howe and his team have basically kicked on every single player and more. So again, he needs to put on the Eddie Howe tax onto each player if we do sell him. So again, if we do sell Gordon, I think we sign him for what, 40, 45?
45,
Easy, bare minimum 80, 85 million, if not.
Yeah.
If not.
That's
Yeah.
There was,
So
there was definitely an element of us selling St. Maximin for 25 million, worried about if we'd sold them for an inflated fee, it getting done points wise, because obviously Saudi team buying a player from a Saudi-owned club in the Premier League. I think we were worried that we were going to get done for an inflated price, so we just went for what everyone was going to accept, didn't we? I think because when you look at it now, I mean, at that point, I know his career's probably went downwards since he's left us, but at that point, he was no worse than what Alanga was last season. His numbers might not have been up there, but you look at that, and it's £55 million now for a winger, isn't it? That is great for a good winger.
Even the Elliot Anderson one as well, Andy. Like when you look at that, when you break that down, I know it's put on paper as 35 million, but when you take in the keeper into consideration, it's like he's worth 20 million apparently. So really and truly, we let Elliot Anderson go for 15 million pounds in this day and age. It's like,
Well, the thing that if we ever to buy him, if we were able to buy him for I don't know, they probably want 80 something million for him. I mean,
Apparently they put 85 million on his buy.
there you go. You
that's what I'm
see,
saying,
so I'm
like,
not.
he's now an England international now. So now
It's
like
criminal.
we'd have to
It's
spend the England international
criminal.
money as opposed to
criminal. man.
Yeah, but by the way, Gordon had a good game today, so he didn't do his credentials any harm at all.
He did
sell
one
him straight away.
good game.
Win, sell him straight away now.
Oh man, one good game. One good game in his bag, man. He's back, yeah. Gordon.
No, I mean I'm fickle in that respect. That would I have
But we know,
sold Gordon
man.
last
We win
season?
last night, and we said one thing that you always get from Gordon's the energy from the press, and he'll always run the channel, and that's exactly where two of England's goals came from. Him running, winning the ball. It's the frustrating thing with him is you don't see him do what he did today, cutting in from the right hand side and putting it in the bottom corner like he did against Man City for us.
Well, Wynn didn't want him to do that today. So he just wanted him to do what he can't do. So
No, but what he did twice should have had 2 assists today as well.
If Harry Kane was getting up,
If they'd been finished off like they should have been.
he could have had it.
That was going on the outside.
Yeah,
Which doesn't go on the outside enough, and he did today for England.
Yeah, he did.
the ultimate question here is, will they sign? I mean, these players we're talking about, Tonali, Botman, you got who else did I mention?
But, I mean, Gordon signed up with
Livramento. No, you got what you wanted with Gordon, man. So you got to give him all the money you wanted for no reason, really. So now we hope.
How's Gordon even in the conversation?
No, because he got a release clause, man. He got a release clause. So they're pointing it out. You didn't even know he had a release clause. Now we're telling you he has a release clause. We don't know the amount. You're gonna have to go and march outside St. James's Park for them to tell you. So Livramento, conversation with him, of course, but the priority is Tonali. Actually, the priority seems to be from the club is Botman over Tonali because Botman's deal expires sooner than Tonali's. So I don't know. What would you guys make? Who if you have to pick right now? If you were DOF, who do you talk to first, Tonali or Botman?
Tonali.
I understand why you would speak to Botman beforehand because he's got less time, but your priority's got to be holding down one of the best midfielders, arguably, in my opinion, potentially the best midfielder in Europe.
Lads, this is going the same way as transfers. We don't have to prioritise players.
You just do it all at once.
Talk to 2 players at the same time. You know what I mean?
He's a bit too much for us, though, isn't it, Berkey?
It's not an amazing fact or anything or something that I'm trying to be controversial about.
Seriously, man.
We can
These
have
people
a
were-
two players
Berkey,
contract at the same
we're
time.
men, though. We can't multitask. Apparently, we can't
That's
do
it.
more.
That's win. That's win. But I mean, like at least I'm saying, man, these people must work at least 9-10 hours a day.
What they should do. They should do. They're probably on like 6 figures.
Six. The DOF is probably is a lot more. Trust me. And
So again, for them to speak to the same players that they see day in, day out, it's not a
it
big
can't be
deal.
that hard. I mean, say you get your 30-minute, your hour lunch. You go to the stack, get your burger. Get you a pint, maybe get your little soda. But that other than that, I mean, you got like 9-8 hours to do some work, man. What are we doing in the offices? So
taking into account Timo Livramento.
Well, no, he's on the conversation.
All right, sorry, I missed you say that. He'd
But so
very high up on that list.
yeah, Tino's good, but he, the one that we need to give contract as well, if you're going to put Tino in, is Lewis Hall, because Lewis Hall is getting paid £20 a week, and that can't be.
I don't think the figures that are on the books right at the minute about Lewis Hall are anywhere near correct.
Well, season before he gets a new contract.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right to part the bus on the Lewis Hall one. The jury's still out for me on.
Not Tino.
No,
Yeah,
Tino. I'm saying Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall. I'm not.
No, but
I say
what's
let's
the
see what
difference?
they're like when they come back.
What's the difference with Tino and Lewis Hall?
Hey, Chris,
Well-
man, it's chalk and cheese. Behave yourself. Come on, man.
Nah. You see what I'm saying?
Chris, what are you drinking over there, man? Relax. Right. Tino is
Lewis-
there. Tino is there, bro. Lewis is there. He's an understudy. He's working his way up, man. Chris.
Understudy.
Man.
Before Livermento, look, see, people forget. That's the problem, man. People forget.
Chris is trolling. Chris is trolling. Oh, yeah, lock him back up.
Yeah.
Lock him back up. Lock him back up.
The problem is that people
Lock
forget
him
about it.
back up.
Before he got hurt, he was one of the best left backs in the country. Livermento, everybody kept talking about how he wasn't ready, how he can't defend, and all that. Now, all of a sudden, Livermento, because the little hole broke his ankle.
You're missing
Come
something,
on,
Chris.
man.
That's what's
Tino
happened.
was up against Trippier. Everyone loves Trippier. The girls love Trippier. The guy, lock yourself up. Lock yourself up. That's correct. Everyone
No.
was up against him. Now Tino is miles ahead in terms. If you want to go Tino for Lewis, I'm not saying Lewis is bad, but they're not in the same bracket. Come
I'll
on,
ask
man.
you a question 40. Sum
Go
this up. Have you seen a performance from Lewis Hall, left back, better than Tino's performance at left back when it's not even his best position?
No.
There you are. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Because
That is crazy, man.
Tino Livramento, before he came to us, was forgotten about because he'd had an injury for nearly a year. He was ripping it up at Southampton. He was going to go to Liverpool if he hadn't gotten that injury. He was going to probably be going, when they were talking about Van Dijk going, he was probably on that list as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tino Livramento has played a lot of first-team football before Lewis Hall has. Lewis Hall's played at a very good level when he first came in, played against Man City, played well. I think, remember, he was directly against Rico Lewis at the time, and he was holding his own.
I remember Lewis Hall, he wasn't even playing left back when he was at Chelsea. He was playing like left midfield, sort of left wing back. So he needs to learn Eddie's system. He needs to learn how to play left back.
He was killing it, man. He was killing it last year. Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
You've gone from there to there, bro. You're forgetting the bit in the middle where he's having to learn how to adapt. Remember, with all Eddie Howe signings, they don't usually go straight into the team. They have to adapt. They take notes. They get the notepad out, like how to play left back the Eddie Howe way. Whereas Tino, he learned from Kieran Trippier, England international.
Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah, happy clappers. Why are we putting our players up against each other?
No, I'm not.
No, let us finish. You have to say, Tino's a great player. Hall's a great player. Win'll hate to hear this, but Bruno's a great player. But Tonali's a great player. You don't have to put them up against each other.
I don't agree with the statement you've made.
But you are putting them up against each other. This player's better than
Because
this.
we're at Chris's direct question was, where are your priorities?
Let us answer the question. The problem is we're a big club now. We don't have to offer 1-2 of them a big contract. We offer them all contracts.
Well, but I don't know if we can offer everybody over 100K though. That's the thing.
Well, not necessarily over 100K, but we'll offer them more than what they're on, and we'll offer them bigger contracts.
No, but I mean, if you got Botman, you got Tonali, you got Livramento, you got potentially Lewis Hall, so what's I don't know, man.
Well, there you go. For me, Botman is below Livramento and below Hall.
But why have we then signed a keeper and paying 120?
100K. There you go. But where is the consistency? Where is the exactly? That makes no sense. He's not even playing. So you know what I'm saying. He's alone, but still getting paid though.
The goalkeeper that you're signing has played 200 games. Lewis Hall hasn't.
But he hasn't played that many games.
He hasn't played He played 2 games for us, man.
I think when you play, come on, look. I know he's not a top goalkeeper, but top goalkeeper, 250 grand a week, not 120 grand a week. What's Donnarumma on at Man City? Probably.
Donnarumma's the best goalkeeper in the world. We don't have that.
Well, I
We
don't.
don't have that.
There's an argument for to say he is the best, but
But Pope is nowhere near that. So
what you've got to do with Lewis Hall is the problem that you've got at Lewis Hall is getting a continuously spread of games from him. So offer an incentive on his current contract, amend his current contract, and say if you play, what's he averaged? I'm sure Wynn's got his stats there. What's he averaged this season playing? 15, 18 games a season starts. Say, look, if you can get above 20 this season, we'll give you another $1 million bonus, which will be 20 grand a week extra. So if you're on 20 grand a week now, you'll be on 40 grand a week. And then next year we'll review it. And if you carry on the way you're going, we'll put you on the money that you should be on. You
Well-
can't throw money at how many times have we seen too much money thrown at young players too early? And
Yeah.
you've seen the effects.
Nice, right.
Well, I agree with that. So you do the same thing with Tino then. Do the same thing with Tino.
Bro, they're in two. This is what I was trying to shoot
No.
at. They're in two different stratospheres right now. Lewis
No,
Hall is
man.
the first for his left back right now.
Okay,
Established-
so this,
Or Tino Livramento is, depending on who you play, but Lewis Hall isn't. So Lewis Hall needs to break into the first team proper and cement his place before you can talk about giving him a more.
he was cemented, man.
Whereas Tino is solidified right back. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying, Chris. Chris, man, put yourself back.
I think you're forgetting. I think you're forgetting what Lewis Hall was. He was a solidified above Skelly and all them players, above them in the English squad. He
Skelly don't
was.
play for us.
He was. No, I'm
not-
saying
we're not
in England.
We talk about the all thing that we got in common. We're all Newcastle fans, so he's got to get into the Newcastle team. Forget England. Forget Lewis Skelly. Lewis Hall needs to get into the Newcastle team and be the first choice left back first before we talk about England and all the rest of it.
He wouldn't have been playing for England. Let's be honest. I'm a massive fan of Lewis Hall, by the way. I think he's brilliant. This is why I don't want to throw too much.
But he did. He wouldn't be. He did. He was called every time to play for England. So
Chris, can you get ready to beat us after I say bull on this one? But the whole point with this is absolute bull.
oh,
How many caps has he got?
No, because you pay players what they're worth, and then you offer them incentives on top of what they're worth. This whole bull that we're talking about, offering players contracts and then saying, but you've got to make your wage up to what you should be on, is absolute rubbish. You should be paying them what they're worth, and then
by the way,
if they do
hold
better.
on. By the way, I'm just looking at the stats of 24-25 between Hull and Livramento. Livramento played a lot more games than Hull, and Hull kills them on every single stat almost. So look it up, man. But we're not going to get that. I'm just letting you know that.
Look into stats. Let's look into performance.
No, but, the proper stats like assists, goals, and all that stuff. I'm just saying, man. And he broke his ankle, and he was clinical when it came to us winning the Carabao Cup. So he just missed the final, so everybody forgets about that. But I'm just saying, man. What?
It's very hard to justify throwing another $8 million a year at a player, right? What's he on it?
All I'm saying is, if Lewis Hall can't get it, then Livramento can't get it either. So I'm just saying that. I'm just saying, man. First of all,
let us land. If he's on 20, apparently he's on quite a low wage at the moment, right? So incentivize it before you throw him on the money that boat is claiming he should be on. Let's say he's on 25 grand a week, right? Before you throw another 10 million a year or 8 million a year, 80 grand a week at him, and put him on 100 grand a week or 80 grand a week because he's an England international, because he's made a couple of caps. What about incentivizing it and saying, the problem that you have is you've got a player in the squad that's a right back that can play your position as good as you. So why is it me as a manager, I have to use that much of my budget to throw my wages at you? You prove to me for a year, you're going to get an injury. Of course you are. Every player gets injured. But what we've found with Lewis Hall is he, when he's out. He's not just out. He's, the comedian said it, you're not out, you're out. He's out. So let him prove that. And the next time you set him a target, he knows, if I hit that target, I'm going to be rewarded. You've got to reward. There's no point in just money being thrown at people, because for me, look, I'm a massive fan of Lewis Hall. I know it sounds like I'm trying to nail him, and I don't rate him.
I agree with you. I'm the same.
I
I love him.
well. I think he can play midfield. I like him as a left back. But when you've got a right back that can play on the opposite side and play that position defensively as well as you and attackingly as well as you, then you've got to look and say, am I worth another 80 grand a week? And I don't think he is yet.
But let me ask you this question. We got a few minutes left here, about 10 minutes or so. So, how much would you give Tonali? 'Cause we can't compete against Liverpool. Can't compete against Real Madrid. Barcelona. Them guys can't compete against them. But what would be the match? First of all, do you agree with me? Yeah, because I speak some common sense now. Do you agree with me that you 40 doesn't agree with me? That I have common sense. He looked at me. He looked at me. He looked at me sideways.
Shaky.
Do you agree that I think that Tonali needs to be the best paid player for Newcastle United,
Joint,
and everybody needs to follow suit? Could be right below or really below Tonali. But do you guys agree that Tonali needs to be the best paid player for Newcastle United, for the Newcastle United team? Yes or no? Mighty Win, you start. Yeah, you start. Okay, he's about to contradict himself in a minute. 40. You
want me to go first? I mean,
yeah.
I said yes.
Oh, and look, it's heading into dangerous territory depending on the numbers that we go to, because how it gets around. Like, it's the same at any workplace. If you hear so and so is on X amount, then the next person will want the same amount as well. And if Tonali is on astronomical amounts more than everyone else, then we've got to bring everyone else up to speed. You know what I mean? The captain will want to be up to speed. Our goal scoring striker will want to be around that amount. So how much really do we need to set aside, not just for Tonali, but for everyone else? Do you know what I mean? I feel, yes, he deserves more money, but not to break the bank and then disrupt the whole harmony of the squad, because then that's just going to just leave us up shit's creek with no paddle. Do you know what I mean? So I think, best player, but not by a country mile and stupid amounts of money, because it's just going to end up just killing us. And we're already in financial troubles in that respect of PSR and FFP and all that nonsense already. So we don't want to kill ourselves even more.
Yeah.
So, Boki, what do you think?
Smash the bank, keep them. Even if we get ourselves into trouble with any sort of financial fair play or anything like that, he's just too important a player to let go. I mean, what you're going to lose? You're going to lose a few points. That lad will win with more points than we'll ever lose. So, yes,
well, I wouldn't go and lose points, but I would certainly. My maximum for Tonali would be 250. That means, and that's not really a number, a high number as far as elite clubs. To pay somebody 250. It's a lot of money, though. Don't get me wrong, but I think for Newcastle to be the best paid player, and then everybody else, get to be falling in place. But Andy, what do you think?
Personally, I would put him on the same money as the captain. I mean, Bruno's going to be up there with the top earners anyway, so I would personally put him on the same as Bruno, and just add different incentives. And I sound like a salesman, don't I? But the goal scorers have got to have a legitimate chance of earning the same money as your top earners. So let's say it's on 100 grand a week. Just put in his contract that, look, if you get X, Y, and Z amount of goals a season, you'll earn the same as him anyways. So stop worrying about it. Do your job, and you'll get paid the same as him. So let's say you get 15, 20
You're not really going to have issue with the strikers because they just got here. So they're not. You're not going to really have an issue.
Again, Chris, if Baltimore scores 20 this season, you will do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially let's say
that means that.
Let's say, example, we go to Brighton, right? Waldemar scores the winner. He's not in the game, but he scores. We then go to the next game, he scores the winner, and then following on, and he's on half the amount of money of Tonali. After 6 months, he's going to be going.
But you're right. Goal scores is pretty simple, because if he's scoring that many goals, then he deserves a new contract, and you can see that in the stats. But I mean. If Joe Linton, for example, comes and tells me, well, I want a better contract because Tonali is on 250, I'll tell Joe Linton to go around and see who pays him 250. There won't be a club that will pay him 250. So who else could say? Who said you? But again, that means we just stay where we are and we don't pay anybody what they deserve, because Joe. Do you guys truly believe that Joe Linton has any backing any facts to come to you and say, I want to get paid 250 because Tonali gives on 250.
But
No,
again,
what are we doing?
And that's the point. You have that conversation with J7 and you say, look, sorry, pal, he's on a different level to you.
So
That's
now-
why he's getting paid
when
more
we're
money.
putting players up against each other again, you
No,
don't
but Boki, Boki, but
Tonali's
But
work.
all I'm
Tonali's
doing
work.
is answering the
Tonali's work.
hypothetical situation that Bruno says he wants as much as Tonali. I don't think Bruno's that stupid.
But Tonali's
Yeah,
worth
but
£150,000. You pay him that. If another player becomes that worth that amount, you pay them that. And yes, if we break financial fair play and things by doing that, then so be it.
Let's
But
talk-
you can't not
No,
play
you
the
cannot
players what
do
worth.
that.
yeah, I don't agree with that. You can't break it because
You
they
can't
will
break
probably
players, so.
What
they
do
will
we do?
throw the book at us.
Every time we get a good player, then do we just let them go because we're unwilling to pay the wages?
No, because I'm
it's
going to
not
say.
unwilling, it's unable.
I think we've got to find a balance. I agree with Andy's point in terms of incentivizing because you've seen it down the line where someone's had a good 3 or 4 months, like for example Aubameyang or Salah, where they've got a hot run up until they got the contracts, and then afterwards they down tools. Whereas if you keep incentivizing and say, look, get to 10 goals, I'll give you this. Get to 20 goals, I'll give you that. Then it's helping the team and the player. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want.
The way I would do it in conjunction with commercial operations. That if we've got to deal with Salah. Now we should be able to say to Salah, by the way, if we get into the Champions League, your 40 grand a year commitment is going to be 60 grand a year, 60 million a year. And that gives us the 20 million for to then say to the players involved, if you get to the Champions League, we can pay you an extra £5 million a year, which is
Also got to remember, a young player signs a contract. I don't know if any of you watch it under the Kosh podcast or anything, but it's regularly mentioned. You sign a contract, say, let's say 90 grand the first year. There's normally like a 10 to 15% increase each year after that as well. So the player that we're talking about now, like for example, Gordon, when he signed his new contract, prime example is he got a huge contract from what he was on. And when I say he deserved that new contract, but when you look at the difference from what he was on to what he went on to, and then his form dropped off, you've got to remember, like the first year is going to be, let's say, 100,000. The next year is probably going to 110. The second year, 120. Next year, 130. So that they've got incentives anywhere in the contract, anyways, because if they stay, they're going to get a wage increase regardless. But I do agree with what said. But the problem I've got with what Forty said was risk of points deduction. Yes, if you lose Tonali out of our team, it probably does cost you 6 to 8 points a season, regardless. But
That's it. I think, man. I don't wish that on anybody to play without Tonali. How about
purely
that?
hypothetical. You can't
No, it ain't no hypothetical. We were without Tonali when he was suspended, and we were rubbish. He came in the team, excellent. So that's how easy it is to figure out. Bruno, you can argue Bruno you can get that, but not many players on this team can come and really demand higher wages. Not many. You say the center forward might if they score, but that means if they score and they are prolific, then you can discuss. But anybody else, I mean.
And I just raise a point on this. If you sit down as a Toonali and to with the club and they're going, we'll pay you this, but then we'll give you this little bit extra if you do this little bit extra if you do that. If the club achieve this, we'll do that. If we get this commercial revenue, we'll do this. You sit there and you think, well, what a load of rubbish, sort of. If there's like a Man City in for us, or there's a Barcelona in for us, or a Real Madrid in for us, they're just going to pay us that no matter what. And then I can do my own commercial deals and that, or they'll do commercial deals for us.
If you want to go there, if you want to
pay them. No, but you have to pay them what they are worth.
Yeah, exactly. When you've been arguing with me,
a load of money.
When you argue with me many times. Oh, so now we can't afford. But you've told me before, you've got to pay Livramento all this money. You've got to, or else they're gonna leave. So now that's not an issue anymore with Tonali. You got something against Tonali, by the way. And just to let you know, in your poll there, Tonali versus Anderson, 94% Tonali, 6% Anderson. So there you go, man. I hope you feel good about yourself after that one. Listen,
that wasn't the question. The question should have been. The question should have been if Tonali doesn't want to sign a new contract.
Oh,
Do tell him.
what an obvious thing. If Bruno doesn't want to be here,
Well,
I would
exactly.
assume.
And what an obvious thing. Who's best?
What a numpty.
Or Anderson.
You said you would be comfortable losing Tonali over Anderson. That means you must rate Anderson that high, that you were comfortable with having Anderson over Tonali. So therefore, that's why the poll is there. But by the way, you lost. I hope you go to the bathroom, look in the mirror,
Well, no, I
and
didn't,
find some
lose
shame.
at all. You just,
And
as
find some
usual,
shame.
you get it to your own
No,
agenda.
Can anyone agree with me, by the way, what Boat's just said there?
because we gotta go, mate, quickly. What do you say?
He's just said there, screams to me, Isak. Oh, well, I know this.
Why?
So I'll just go there.
Why is that assumption about Tonali? All of a sudden, some people, happy clappers, really want to put that cloud over Tonali for some reason, that he wants to leave, that he's not loyal to Newcastle.
I've never said that at all.
Well, I didn't accuse you of that, but you just came out defending
What
yourself.
I'm
That must mean
when
you
he's,
must
when
think
he's
of that.
offered the new contract, if he accepts it, we know where his loyalties lie. If he turns it down, we know where his loyalties lie. If he turns it down, bye-bye.
For a man that didn't say that, you're defending yourself a lot right now. But anyways, folks, we've had a wonderful show. Great debut by 40, by the way. Man, lovely stuff, man. He held his own. You know, he held his own, which is good. This is you haven't seen a Newcastle channel like this, man.
Put you in jail. That's good enough for me.
This is dirty here, man. Anyways, folks, thank you very much for joining us. Tomorrow we'll be live again with NUFC Undisputed at 11 a.m. UK. Back again at night with the late night show. So join us tomorrow. We'll be back at it, and yeah. Again,
you say 11 a.m. then.
11 a.m. You got that right. So super chats. Thank you to Helsuzar, Kenny for becoming a member, Corey D, Paul Mo, Helsuzar again. Let me see here. Andy Bell, you gifted. Thank you, man, for getting me out of jail. That was lovely. Unjustified, but even Mandela went to jail, as I said. You know. So hey, listen, two great legends were put in prison.
I'll carry that badge with honor.
So, anyway, folks, thank you very much. Don't forget to smash that like button. We'll see you on the next one. How away the lads.